Hey again everyone, Jody Norstedt here with your North Dakota Diamond highlights, your weekly source for high school baseball and softball highlights, interviews, standings, and analysis throughout the season. Now before I get into this week's top highlights, I'd like to plug the feature that we shared on Tuesday night. We profiled Davies Jr. Cole Hage, who plays outfield, first base, and pitches for the Eagles baseball team. He has a pretty wild story. Now he burst onto the scene as a freshman, becoming the team's top hitter and one of their best pitchers, but a football injury forced him to miss all of his junior season. Now he's back and he's making an impact. Check that story out when you have a moment on our Midco SN social media channels or our YouTube channel. But as I promised last week, our attention is on Class B baseball this week. We had some great matchups that we got to, and I'd like to update you on the region races across the state. Let's start with a big showdown in Region 2 on Monday night. 5-1 Hillsboro-Central Valley visiting 6-1 MayPort-C-G. Good form on the pregame handshakes for coaches Alex Berry and Nathan Walsh, along with the officials. Good form on this swing by Cade Susie. He drives it through a gap on the right side of the infield. Sam Satram comes home. MayPort-C-G is up 1-0 after 2. Fast forward to the top of the 6th, same score. Sawyer Satram in a jam with runners on the corners. Not anymore. Gets the strikeout to end the threat. Bottom half, bases juice for Jordan Evans. He takes Colton Anderson's pitch to the wall and left. The double clears the bases to put MayPort-C-G up 4-0. They led 6-0 after the frame. The Burros pushed 3 across in the 7th, but it was too little, too late. The Patriots pick up their 4th straight win, 6-3, the final.
Well, I thought it was a battle throughout. They played well. We played well, 1-0 game till late, and fortunately guys were able to step up and knock in some runs later to give us some insurance, so I thought both teams competed well.
We're a close team, and we hang out a lot, just play together and have a lot of confidence.
Next up for MayPort-C-G, a couple of big games to finish up the regular season. The Patriots play arguably the 2 best teams in the state with a trip to Thompson on Monday before hosting 2-time defending state champ Park River-Fordville-Lankin 3 days later. What do you think, Coach Berry?
Those are outstanding teams. The reason we're talking about them is they're the state champs the last 3 years. We have a lot of respect for both of their programs, and they set the bar. We just look to come out and compete and get better each time and be our best team or be our best selves each day.
Here's a look at why that matchup with Thompson on Monday is so big. MayPort-C-G can secure the top seed in the region with a win. These standings are from the North Dakota High School Activities Association website. I know that they're not always completely updated, so bear that in mind, but it is down to the Patriots and Tommies for that top spot in Region 2. And that would be huge because as the top seed, you'd avoid having to face a tough 3 seed in Hillsboro-Central Valley in the semis. Meanwhile, in Region 1, the top seed was decided on Tuesday night with first place Enderlin-Maple Valley hosting second place LaMoure-Litchville-Marion. These 2 teams going head-to-head for the 2nd time in 5 days. The Falcons won in LaMoure 2-1 on Friday. First inning, L-M gets things started with the train rumbling in the background. Jace Hansen chooses to hit one to the gap, scoring the game's opening run. Hansen with the double. That score holds until Chance By, one of the most dangerous hitters in the state, booms out a 2-run homer to dead center for the home team. I guess there's a reason his last name is By. To the 5th, Lobos trailing by 1. Corbin Potts hits it to right center. And the fielder has trouble with it, so he's on second. And the visitors have a threat going. But By locks in on the mound. And check out this strikeout pitch. Boy, that's nasty. That was out number 2, and he gets out number 3 with a little chopper back to the mound. The Falcons win it 3-1 to secure the top seed for the region tournament.
Today's game was very big, and we put Chance on the mound, and we expect big things out of him, and he came through for us.
We locked up the 1 seed, and it was a big ego booster for us. I mean, going to the tournament with 2 wins against such a good team over there of LaMoure, but it helped us out a lot, and we're ready for the tournament for sure.
Now here's a look at how Region 1 shapes up right now. Enderlin-Maple Valley clinches that top spot, but this is a loaded division. Kindred Richland, L-M, and Central Cass all have the ability to make a run in the postseason. We'll have more on that competitive region next week. Our own Zach Hoffner is working on that piece. But before the postseason comes, Enderlin-Maple Valley has a tournament to host. 11 teams from across the state, ranging from Beulah to Langdon-Edmore-Munich, Ray to Harvey-Wells County, and more, will converge on the city this weekend, giving a lot of teams the opportunity to face opponents they aren't as familiar with.
It's nice for the community, to bring in towns from across the state to showcase, what we have. It's kind of grown quite a bit. We started it back in 1993, and we play 5-inning games, so we keep it going fast. And it's just something different to see some different teams and give our other guys, a chance to play too.
Well, I hope fans enjoy their time down in Enderlin this weekend. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates as well. Now let's take a look at some other region standings. And again, these are from the NDHSAA website. It's a hard to factor in counter and non-counter games, so sometimes these can be a little bit misleading, but make no mistake, Carrington is the best team in the region. The Cardinals look to be well on their way to making a 5th consecutive appearance at the state tournament. Carrington looks pretty darn strong. That roster is littered with talent, including seniors Kyle Leopold, Lucas Geisler, Drew Page, and Peyton Smith. They have lost a couple games lately, though, against Velva-Drake-Animus and LaMoure-Litchville-Marion, but the Cardinals pretty darn strong. On to Region 4. No surprise at the top. Two-time defending state champ Park River-Fordville-Lankin is definitely in the driver's seat. The lineup is stacked. The pitching staff is lights out. It'll be fun to see the Aggies play some top-notch competition this weekend as Thompson hosts a bunch of teams. They're scheduled to play Carrington and Thompson both on Friday. Now, Grafton and Langdon-Edmore-Munich, they have plenty of talent as well. They can make things interesting for Park River-Fordville-Lankin. Region 5 features first place North Star, and then Northern Lights and Rugby are in the mix. Rugby is trying to make state for the 4th straight season. The Panthers play North Star on Thursday. Looking at Region 6, the standings again might have a few discrepancies. I think Bishop Ryan is the team to beat here. The Lions have taken 3 of 4 overall games against Velva-Drake-Animus this year. I will say, though, Velva's Hayden Lee owned the Lions in a start back on May 3rd, pitching and hitting the Aggies to victory in that one. But the Lions have a lot of different guys that have stepped up throughout the year. We'll see what happens there. Region 7, Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood, Glenburn has played a ton of games, and they've won a ton of games. Ray and Des Lacs Burlington will be the top challengers for that region. MLS has a talented pitcher and hitter in Isaac Unlin, one of the top athletes in the state. Henry Savacool is a standout catcher that was all-region last year as a sophomore. So they certainly have the talent, but they were the top seed last year and didn't make it to the region championship. Shiloh Christian, meanwhile, lost to Beulah in the Region 8 championship a year ago, and I have a feeling it will come down to those two again this year. After all, they've met in the region championship each of the last 3 seasons. Beulah is loaded with 10 seniors. Corey Rube, he's an outstanding power hitter for the Miners. Shea Yeager gives them a strong arm on the mound. Shiloh, on the other hand, has perhaps the best player in the region in Kanan Fagerlin. He is Mr. Do-It-All for the Skyhawks. Cole Ballmiller and Jaden Mitzel are outstanding players as well. That's a Shiloh team that began the year with 7 returning starters. So that's a quick whip around of what's happening in Class B baseball. It's hard to believe that we have just over a week left of the regular season. Hope you enjoyed this week's edition of the North Dakota Diamond Highlights, and we'll see you next time.